Hi everyone, now I'm going to be tying an olive. In this case, this here's an olive jingler or an olive spider. Basically, I get asked every year for this pattern quite regular. I have tied the natural one, which is just basically a natural hare's ear body, natural brown partridge, brown hackle, and so. But there's many variants of that fly, and this is the olive version. It's a good pattern, it's very easy to tie, it's a very productive fly, and the spider patterns catch a lot. Now the partridge hackle does give the impression of the legs as well as the wing, so now I'm going to be tying it with a yellow thread. It's just a Uni 80, you can see. You have waxed the thread, and I'm just going to quickly run down. There's 2 or 3 ways I can tie this fly, but I'm just going to tie it as a standard spider pattern, or just dry fly. Now a spider pattern, the reason we say spider is because it's a fly without a wing, so basically we call them spiders, whether they're wet or dry. Now for the tail, I'm going to use a coq de leon fibre. This is just a whiting coq de leon fibre for a whiting neck, and this is just a medium Pardo type colour. You're looking at tail length, release the hook, just catch that on the top with a turn. Now that turns on the bare hook. Now I then come underneath the tail fibres and pull towards the eye, and then just lift the fibres, lock it down with a turn, just lifts and separates the fibres a wee bit. It's just the way I've always done it. Now what I've got here is the hare's ear. Especially this, as I say, it's an olive, it's a kind of medium olive, light olive pattern. This is a hare's ear. Now I recently saw a video talking about ceramic. This is just basically a dubbing rake, as they call it. This is an old one. This one here, so you can see there, it says it's law. It's a law version. This is the small one. There's a couple. I mean, these go way back. And but you can buy, I think, Hairline that do it. I'll put the information below the video. I'm sure it's Hairline, but anyway, they are really good. I rarely use gadgets, but anyway, it does make sense at times, and you get great dubbing with it. So I mean, to give you an idea of how it works, what you can see here, I'll just basically scrape away. You can see there, you get your dubbing. It's all blended, you get a great mix. So anyway, that's this sort of ceramic version. I mean, now you get ceramic knives now, so you get these wee dubbing rakes are great. It's very easy then, once you do that, to dub it on. Now before I do that, I like a good underbody, the yellow thread. I'm going to come back down, and I'm just going to lightly dub the thread, the dubbing on. Dub's easy, and then we just, once we get it caught near on the body, we can then twist, tighten when we need to. Now give yourself plenty of room for this style of fly. Now what I'm going to do here is quite unusual. I'm going to take my thread back down, and then I'm going to rib the fly with the thread. As you can see there, that just slightly tightens it up. When you stroke back any fibres going forward, just lock them back with some turns, and then wax your thread ready for tying in your hackles. And you can see the body, you get really nice body. It's a great rough olive, as I would call it. Now I'm going to be using this light olive. This is kind of very yellow like, but this is just a cheap Chinese neck I bought years ago. It's coming to its end here, but I'm going to use it up on these flies for the beginning of the season. So check the feathers, okay, fine, that's fine. Just the wee broken 2 or 3 fibres there. I'll just go back in, get a better hackle. So say I like to use these feathers up, and don't be shy with the length. You want to just if you bring to get the length, the idea what the length is, just put the stem of the feather in line with the shank. That will give you the length of the fibre you're going to get when you wind it on. So it's quite long, and that's what you want, especially at the beginning of the season. Now I'm just going to bear away fluff at the base. As I say, wax your thread, obviously leave enough to tie it on. Make sure it's nice and tight. Good winding area for winding the hackle, and the underside of the hackle facing towards the eye, so it basically it'll naturally sit like this. Now I'm just going to wind the hackle till I've got enough. Now what you can do is just, much like you do, just draw the fibre back and do a turn, just lightly, until you've got enough hackle. So you check that's fine. Then follow up with the thread, bit of bend into the stem, secure it in, trim it away. Once you've got 3 or 4 turns in there, but leave a small half mil part of the stem, so you can basically, allows you to secure it in, and then come back up, and that's your hackle done. Now the hackle I'm going to be using, there's a couple. This is just a grey Partridge dyed, the same colour as the hackle, just slightly lighter in colour looking. Now you want enough, like if you look at the fibre length, you can, again, if you put the stem beside it, you can see the length you're going to get. It's going to be slightly longer. It's going to be slightly longer anyway. Usually is this grey Partridge. Now what I'm going to do, catch it by the tip. It's obviously my hackle plier, so you can see what I'm doing, sorry. Then trim it. Again, you're going to tie it with the underside going forward. Just make sure there's wax on your thread. You want to catch it right up close to the hackle. Then come down. Maybe it's a good mill there. And then you want to wind, but you're going to wind it the same way. Just lightly draw it back. Now, you're not going to just waste the shape of the hackle, but what you're going to do is when you wind the hackle, you're going to catch less fibre by just stroking it back. You can see where the stem's going. Just take your time, it will come back to its natural, where you want it. There we go. Now this, as I come up, I'm going to bend, with the thread, sorry, bend the stem of the feather, catch it in, nice and tight. I'm just going to pull these fibres off, trim this hackle away, and then I'm going to varnish on my thread while everything's sitting back, and wet finish. There you go. That's the olive jingler. Now trim that away. And then we're going to just lightly bring this back the way it should be. And there we go. Now you can see that obviously the Partridge hackle fibre is slightly longer. But that's what you want. As I say, that gives impression of the legs as much as it gives impression of the wing. Rough and ready. Great fly for the beginning of the season. Certainly one I would recommend. Now I'm just going to take a couple of longer fibres out. So on yet. There you go. Yeah, and that's the olive jingler, olive spider as we say, because there's no wing tied in, though there is an impression of one. Simple fly to tie, great fun, catches lots of fish, so I hope you enjoyed that, and thank you for watching.